Have you ever wondered what was out there in the night sky? Stared up at the stars in the hopes of seeing something out of the ordinary? Have you ever heard unexplainable noises coming from a vacant room, or watched a shadow cross the wall in front of you? Have you asked yourself if there's life after this one, or if you had life before? What about strange creatures that are mythical and elusive? Have you experienced deja vu, or felt a prompting to leave because you felt you were in danger? What if tomorrow you were on the fringe? Welcome to On the Fringe. I'm Philip.
And I'm Mark.
And with us tonight, you guys see Jess, aka Notebooks, the regular Pam, and we have the whole crew from the AMOK podcast, guys. Welcome. We have, let's see, Adrian from Arkansas. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Ken from Missouri.
Not yes, you're wrong.
No, you're right.
Shauna from Oklahoma.
Yes.
And of course, our very own Pam from here in Kansas. Welcome, guys. Glad to have you on.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
And I'm going to answer your intro. Yes, to all of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I was just doing a little head bobbing.
I've always been kind of on the fringe, anyways.
Well,
it's a cool intro. He did a good job on it.
Yep.
We're kind of reworking. We're going to be reworking some stuff here in the near future with a lot of stuff. We're splitting our YouTube channel up. We're in the works on that. Yeah, Enzo, what's up, man? He said, "Wow, full house." And Alicia,
hey Enzo, hey Alicia.
He said, "Hey guys, glad to see my two favorite groups together." Yeah.
Yes.
Chris said, "Hey guys, hey Chris."
Hey Chris.
Yeah, we had such a good time. When you guys had us on here a few weeks ago, we've been about a month ago probably now, hadn't it? Had such a good time. We thought we'd invite you guys and see what you guys have been up to. I know you guys were busy this weekend.
Yes, very busy with the investigation stuff.
And
That's
driving. Lots of driving.
Lots of driving. It was fun. Listen to me. I did a lot of riding. Jess was gracious enough to haul me back and forth.
She
kept me awake.
She should have swung by and picked us up too, and just that'd be great.
What would have been entertaining is to give Pam an energy drink.
Now I'll have to remember that for next time.
Ooh, no.
We considered a coffee for a little bit, but then we were like, no.
Nobody wanted that.
It's like that squirrel from On the Fringe where time stops.
Yeah. Over the edge, I mean. Yeah. Or over the hedge. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, now it's got me really interested now because my wife and I, we were doing an investigation out in Oklahoma way back when we started. And my wife doesn't drink coffee or anything like that, but we'd driven quite a ways and we were waiting for the other team to get there. So we gave her what was called an upshot back when the little, back when they were good. Right. And, and so she took it and she's like, I'm not feeling anything, and the whole time she was in like warp mode. She didn't realize that. And we were just laughing because she was like climbing walls and stuff. And a mosquito landed on my neck.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, she karate chopped me about me putting me in a wheelchair. I was like, so she's not allowed to have anything like that. No.
Doing 75 miles an hour.
It was bad.
Jess and I, the first time they found this out, it was not too long after we started investigating as a team, and she and I had a art show to do. It was like goodness. It was in Independence, but it was early in the morning. So we were up and running by like 5 o'clock in the morning. And by the time it came to go do the investigation that night, I was starting to drag. Wow. So, she was like, yeah, let's grab some coffee. It'll be fine. And I was like, okay, y'all don't know what you're in for though. And yeah.
It was not good.
I enjoyed it.
It was not good. We like to tease her about it, but we don't really want to cause her any
discomfort.
I
like a chihuahua the whole time.
Hey, that would make Adrian and Tina feel like they're at home.
Yeah. The like recorders were pointless that night because all you could hear in all of them was Pam going, okay, let's do this.
Yay!
All right, Pam turns into the Tasmanian devil, Enzo asks.
Kind of, yeah.
He does, yeah.
So bad.
So my notes so far: Pam, no caffeine. Got it.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. So on this, on your, y'all, I mean, I know you guys got together. I follow you on Facebook, just kind of catch what's going on. Can you disclose where that was at, or was this more of a private investigation?
No, it wasn't private.
This was a totally public place called Ray County Museum. It's up in Richmond, Missouri, which is about 30 miles, I guess, northwest of Lexington, Missouri, where one of the big Civil War battles took place.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a public place, and just contact Kathy Gotch up there, and you can get yourself in.
And she's
nice.
super nice too. You
I tell you what,
fantastic.
next time though, we're gonna have a hot spot.
Yeah. Those walls are really thick, and
They
the Wi-Fi
are. They are.
wasn't want to go through them very well. She has a great dog too. His name's Jack, by the way.
Oh, he's
His
so
son-
cute.
Oh,
I killed him.
Oh
I did.
he shot him.
yeah, you went bang.
I shot him, and I went bang, and had to have food in my hand, but he laid down and waited for his food. It was pretty funny.
It was super cute.
I would have done it too for food, but nobody tried it.
We'll have to remember that next time, Ken.
I will do all kinds of strange things for food, so I get you, man. I get you.
Thank you. I don't feel so alone anymore.
Yeah, Alicia, she said she watched Adrian's live video. It looked creepy even during the day.
That is a creepy looking place for sure. But
Yeah.
you know, a museum,
Yes.
museums kind of have an energy about them, but this place had a history too, on top of just all the stuff that's in it. But yeah, I liked walking around the place, fantastic. But I always enjoy the walkthrough more than because investigation to me, if you guys have been doing it for any length of time, you know most investigations are just like something please happen. I enjoy the walkthrough. I always do, and that place is just fantastic.
It's a great museum too. They have some really cool artifacts, and sadly enough, a lot of things that I remember from when I was a kid are in the museum now.
Well, that's
But
cool.
Kathy gave us a little spiel when we
We're
got
museum
there.
ready.
I think she said, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, it started in 1909 as a poorhouse for Ray County, and it ran as a poorhouse until 1960. And at that time, it was turned into a nursing home, and it ran as a nursing home for the next 11 years up until 1971. And at that time, they built a new home, moved all the residents to the new nursing home, and then turned the building back over to the state or to the county. And then the county, at some point, and I don't recall the date, but they turned it into the museum. So there's a lot of history there. And in the basement, overflow from the county jail, they would hold them in the basement.
There's cells down there. Yeah.
Criminals. Yeah, there's cells in the basement.
Nice.
Yeah, that basement though. I mean, it was whenever I went down there near in the wee bits in the morning. It was the first thing that came to my head though was in that room was please don't throw anything at me, because wasn't it you that said it was a room of mass destruction?
Yeah, there were farm implements hanging all over the walls
everywhere. There wasn't a free space anywhere. And I could just imagine some poltergeist or spirit or something just going, and me getting a knife in the knee or something. It was.
Oh yeah, you walk in that one room. There's all kinds of sharp instruments.
Oh yeah.
I walked into it. The first thing I thought was Twister. Hell no, I'm done.
Yes.
I went to the other room.
And I think I said that on my live video too as I walked in.
And I did.
Pretty funny.
And hide a space oddity.
Like the Twister barn.
Yeah. I was like, no, Twister. I was like, who lives here? I was like,
it was pretty wild. They had some really cool stuff, and they're really and back behind on the property is a potter's field. So not only were those that came to the poorhouse where that ended up being their end of the road are buried there, but there's people that they used as potter's field that they found like in the river because they're very close to the river.
And a bear.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, the
go in
and
the
a bear.
bear.
There's
Yes,
a bear
and a bear.
buried there.
You
In
could
the
see
front.
like the indention in the ground shaped like
Yes.
a bear. That was really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
went
have
out
space oddities.
I can go
Yeah.
look for it.
I went out there and found it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it was so weird because the way the guy apparently cut the grass, it left markings on the ground that looked like a 12 or 15-foot Sasquatch. And I'm like, what? It was bizarre. I took some pictures, but of course, using your phone, it doesn't really come out very well. But it was goofy and weird. And of course, I had to do all my dad jokes with it, of course. But
Oh yeah.
I mean, why not? I mean, dad jokes
Exactly.
rock.
Oh, they absolutely do. But apparently, that she said, Kathy said that about between 150 to 200 people may have died in the building, and she said over 1,500 people lived there throughout this entire time frame. I think she said there's about 50 some odd rooms,
Yeah.
or there used to be 50 rooms. Some of them they've made double rooms out of them now for some of the exhibits. Each of the rooms has a different what's the word here? A theme, a different
yeah.
theme. So it was quite interesting. Some of the artifacts that we saw.
Yeah, it was neat. They had like a World War I room, a World War II room. They had
Civil War room. That was
a
my
Civil War room. That was
bane.
an interesting one. There was one for Native American artifacts. And there was the hall, Jess, the Hall of Mannequins.
Yeah.
That's
The
cool.
the mannequins are creepy.
Ooh.
I called
Yes.
it the hallway of my nightmares.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That one looked like she was yodeling or something the whole
Well,
time.
the mannequins were like leering out into the hallway. They weren't just like standing up against the wall. They were like rear like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
They're creepy. In the daytime, creepy. Yes.
And they
Well,
had
Jet-
some of them had some really crazy expressions on their face. So one of them looked like she was off a hee-haw.
Yeah. Like she was yodeling. She was just like,
Yeah.
I could only
Somebody
see them
should,
from a distance.
Who has a picture? We took pictures in front of the building. If we
Oh, yeah, we
hand that
did.
off
Oh.
to
Adrian probably has a.
Did I not put that out there?
no.
Oh
You
my
just
God.
took the picture of
I'm
us
like-
eating, or
I'm
well,
like-
right before we ate.
I'm like
An
the
hour before we ate.
I'm like the worst ever.
So the mannequin panic room essentially.
If I would have thought about it, I would have sent that out to everybody. I thought I put a picture out there, but apparently I did not.
Oh, the
Mannequin
mannequin.
Sounds like
Mannequin
you guys
room.
had a
was
blast.
actually.
Yeah.
Mark, are you good if I
It's
email
in
you
my
a couple of
camera right
pictures?
there.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, let me find
Here,
it.
can you see it?
It's right there.
Hold
It's-
on a
it's
minute.
on
I
the
think-
screen.
I think I've got a copy of it. I'll send it to Mark.
The actual mannequin room wasn't a room; it was a complete hallway. And when you and I were up there, I finally went up there about 1 o'clock or whatever it was, 12:30 ish, and I got to that hallway. I couldn't walk into it; it would not allow me to walk in.
Oh wow.
Mm.
So that was kind of weird. I'm going back in about 2 months, so I'm going to see if I can walk into that room at that time. I'll try that first. If not, I'm like, okay, great, I'll go somewhere else.
Are you
Yeah,
talking
why
about the
not?
mannequin room? The one where
the
the
mannequin
mannequin
hall-
was.
Hallway.
Oh, the hallway.
Hallway. I could not walk in the hallway.
That Civil War room was kind of weird for a little bit, and then it just kind of
Like I said, the only thing that got me was that one tack room downstairs, and I was like, that one kind of for a moment got
The tack room.
me. Yeah.
Here's a scary picture I took.
I emailed that pic to you, Mark.
Ah,
Did you-
I'm waiting to
Oh,
hear
it's a
something.
horse's rear.
Yeah, it's like really.
I just sent you
Well, the
mine,
front
too.
wasn't anything to look
So-
at either. That was kind of scary.
So was it more of a feeling,
Oh.
or did you guys have actual experience there?
I didn't have any experience there other than that one room. Like I said, I felt kind of like a pressure on me, but I just moved forward, and then Tina was behind me, and then she was right in the same area that had the pressure, so she alerted to that pressure. I turned around, and she said she felt like something was around her, so I started taking a whole series of pictures on her, see if I could see anything. Didn't see anything, but the whole time she said it like something was around her, like touching her. But beyond that, we didn't experience anything for the rest of the night. But you know, you have to be at the right place at the right time, type thing. Oh, you have a visitor, Philip.
I do. I do.
I was making it.
Sneak in on me.
Look at that smile.
How cute.
The only experience I really had was when I was down in that tool room. I heard somebody that was coming down the stairs, and I thought somebody was coming down the stairs. So I was like, "Who's down here?" And I walked out and I said, "Well, let's go see who's down there." And I took the camera and I started walking. There was nobody there. And I was like, "Okay, well, maybe they're walking up there." And then I heard it again. I was like, "Okay, that's what it is. They're walking up there."
All right,
And-
here is
Oh, you got it?
see if it's going to show you. Well, let me try this again.
Uh-oh.
And apparently, so we can have something.
Here we go.
Everybody was gone. They weren't even there.
That was a group of us, yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
There's your group, and then
Motley Crew.
the Motley.
For
here
sure.
Crue.
is
Well, I got the hair for it.
a
A Motley
horror
Crew.
show. One moment.
Yeah, I do, Tim.
Here's the horror show.
Here's the
Yeah,
deal.
there she
That-
is.
She was
Yeah.
a little frightening. I'm not going to.
Look at her
lie.
face. Look at her face. That's just flat out scary.
I
mean,
actually
Yeah,
I
that's
actually
weird.
named her. I
That-
called her Hee Haw Sally.
you know,
Oh my
She
God.
looks like some Karen yelling at her kids.
She was frightening.
Or
From
Star-
here,
Annabelle would
like-
look at that and go, "Holy crap!"
Right, right.
from this picture, it looks like the lady on Mars Attacks.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
does.
Oh,
yeah.
there
I
as you
mean, a
said
little
that.
bit, yeah.
Ack, 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 ack,
I
ack.
think I've met this gal. I don't know.
Is that the hallway I couldn't go down?
That's gotta be.
Yes.
What's
That's
the one
in the
behind her
hallway.
doing? Are they doing like a muscle
Jumping
show
jack.
kind of
I
thing?
don't know what they're doing. That's
Jumping
weird.
jacks.
They're doing a hoedown. They're hoedown.
Mark, I just sent you one more
Okay,
Yeah.
All
here's.
right.
I don't know if
It's
you can
got an
see it or not.
interesting
You can't.
thing in it.
Well, then I won't do it again. I was gonna say that was the,
Oh, the
room
tool
of-
room.
the
Yeah,
tool room. It's like, oh,
Oh,
my
did
God.
you?
the room of
Yeah.
mass
See,
destruction.
I can't send it to anybody, but there's part of it right
Can you
there.
can you email
Why
it
can't you
to
send it?
Mark?
Uh,
Can you
Do
email
what?
it to Mark?
give me a second. I can try.
Here, I'll
Actually,
put his email in.
Is it too big to? That sounds.
no,
bad.
it was too big for my little tiny camera right here. That's the only
Well,
way I
yeah,
could get
but
it
you
to
can
guys.
forward it. Like, send it through Messenger. Send it to
I will-
Pam.
I will do that. Give me a second here. Oh my gosh. Okay.
We're
anyway.
waiting.
Yeah, Levi
Ah.
said he didn't know fighting the ghost, but that thing moved on him.
Oh my God. Go
Oh
on.
yeah,
I
right.
mean, we're already on the 17th
He
topic
karate
by now. So.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Honestly, that hallway, they didn't tell us beforehand where activity was occurring. And when I had started down that hallway, I was like, yeah, I'm going to wait because it feels like there's something down there. Do you guys see anything in that photo that looks out of place?
Up here in the window.
Yeah.
That
Zoom in
person's
on that.
wearing
and
a
see what
really
it is.
bright shirt. Wow.
Let's see.
Other than Adrian in the neon yellow. Well, you were very easy to find. Actually, you got us to the right place.
I was about to say, there's something in the window.
Yeah. They have a
What
little
a-
mannequin up there for a little bit of
It
atmosphere, I think. But it was fun.
was fun.
Yeah, that is fun. Yeah.
It sounds like it was pretty fun.
It
It
was,
was
a
a good
blast.
time.
We did have a really good time.
Good. So I'm going to go one by one,
Uh-oh.
and I just want to kind of know. I'm just curious as to what you guys or what got you guys into the paranormal and then investigating things like that. Okay, Shauna, since you're first on my screen,
Oh.
we'll let you go first.
Ooh.
But Adrian starts with A. Well, mine kind of started. I really didn't start investigating paranormal until 2012. I had a couple of paranormal experiences happen over my life, and I just really didn't contribute it to paranormal. even though my mom kept telling me she heard things and saw things when she was younger. But I was raised as that, well, that's crazy. Don't even worry about that. So whenever I finally got on my own and everything, and I quick story short, I watched Ghost Adventures, y'all, and I loved Aaron and Nick, and was like, man, I really want to do this. It really sounds awesome. And a friend of mine was like, well, let's do it. So I started it. I started Geeks Paranormal, and I've been doing it ever since. And then I got into podcasting about 2018, 2017, 2018, and been that show is no longer, but I've been doing an Exploring the Paranormal Perspective since 2021. So
cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
There's
Yeah,
my
she's got
short
really cool
story.
stuff going on.
What's the name of the show you say? Paranormal
Exploring the
Perspective?
Paranormal Perspective. Yep. Yep. I made it short so everybody else can have a turn.
All right, Pam, I know everybody's familiar with you, but I don't know that you've ever actually answered that question on the show.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
I said I know
I'm helping
I just sent
Ken
Pam
get
a bunch
his-
of pictures.
Yeah, I'm helping him get those over to
Oh,
Mark.
okay. Well, Adrian, we'll jump to you then. Let me know when you're finished, Pam.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, to me. Okay.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Yes, sir.
I was an absolute 100% unbeliever.
You still are on something.
It's just one of those things. And I even before I became a Christian, I didn't believe in it and stuff like that. And then people talking about the stuff, and I just never witnessed anything. I'd been to old places, lived in old places, never witnessed, never seen anything. Became a Christian, then it was like, well, there's no such thing as ghosts, right? Because that's what they always say at the pulpit. So I'm like, okay, that's the way I fell into line with everybody else. And we lived in a haunted house in McAllister, Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. And my wife was telling me things that was going on in the house, and I'm busting up laughing at her. I mean, to her face. My kids are telling me stuff, and I'm like, well, Tina's just getting you guys all wound up in her crazy story. So I'm just thinking it's all just mass hysteria. And then one time we'd gotten into a fight, and being a typical jerk husband. And so I finally was like, forget it, I'm going to bed. And I went to bed. And after I went up to bed, not long after that, Tina, who was crying because I was a jerk, said that something touched her, like consolingly, on her back. And she said it was cold. She said she just straightened up, didn't turn around, didn't look at anything. She said, I don't care that you're here, but I don't really want to see you, and I don't want you touching me. And so she tells me this the next day, and I did what any loving husband would have done. I went, oh my God. And then I was really crazy. I was telling everybody, I was like, man, you tell them your ghost story. This is great. And I was a jerk. Well, one night, fast forward, we're coming home from a movie, and I don't know if you've ever been to McAllister. Just kind of a wide spot in the road, but it's got like the highway running through it and one main street. And we were on the main street coming to the main part of the town, right by the courthouse and all that stuff. So well lit road, got 2 lanes going both directions, and a big center section island, and like I said, well lit. And as we were coming down the road, it was about a half a block from the intersection when a creature crossed the road. And this thing didn't fit in the natural realm. And when I say a creature crossed the road, it wasn't like a short moment. We saw it for a good at least 8 seconds. And if you look at something that's mind-bending for 8 seconds, you get a pretty good description of it. But I'd stopped the van, and we watched this thing cross the road, and Tina's like, did you see that? I said, I saw something. And she said, what did you see? I said, no. Because, see, I thought I lost my mind. I thought she'd get say, yeah, it was a dog or something. What I thought at first was I saw a panther, but it wasn't a panther, because I've seen a panther, and this didn't look like a panther. It didn't have a tail and had a smashed-in face and all that stuff. I was like, ugh. And she described this creature to me. So I was like, okay, well, if that's real, then anything else could be. Then I started paying attention to the voices in the house. I started paying attention to the stuff around me, and I had encountered something in our house. And then, as life would have it, I moved to Fort Smith and lived in a normal house for a little while. But I was hitting the books because all this stuff didn't fit in what I thought theologically. So I started hitting the book, try to find out things, and learned a lot of things. And then when we bought this house, stuff started happening in this house. And I after I saw the full body apparition, I said, "Hey, this is not cool." I went to my pastor, who's a friend of mine, and he told me, he basically did the same thing I did to Tina. Went, "There's no such thing as ghosts, you silly dude." And so I went and looked for some paranormal teams and tried to find somebody with a like mind. And I got I was an X-ray tech since I was 18. So definitely been involved with seeing artifacts and stuff on film and false positives and stuff like that. So when I was researching the teams and saw a lot of things, I said, no, that's not evidence, but they were presenting it as evidence. That's just dust. That's dust. And seeing some of the stuff that people are saying, I was like, okay, well, let's start a team, because Tina has been involved in the paranormal, or really into the paranormal, since she was elementary school, and that she self-described herself as a creepy kid. She liked to check out the books in the library about ghosts and UFOs and crypto stuff. And I said, with your knowledge, with my theology, let's come together and actually try to help people. So that's how we started the team back in 2006. And been fairly busy. Now we're slowing down doing the fun stuff while we did the stuff like that. Did I bore you?
No, you're good.
Everybody's like this.
Oh,
I was trying not to die over here.
hold on. Okay.
Ken, sir, what about you?
I don't remember now because he was talking so long.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding. I've always had an interest in the, I'll call it the monster world. I know my dad and I watched all the monster films and movies and shorts and whatever on TV. And at the movie, growing up, just probably until, my teen years or whatever, and loved it. Always had an interest in it. Talked to my aunt predominantly and another relative, about this kind of stuff off and on. They were kind of telling me a few different things, and I really didn't get into it. Until about, I guess, a little over 15 years ago. I started following, well, I guess almost 20 years now. Isn't Ghost Hunter's been around almost that long?
Okay.
So I kind of watched them for their shows and all that for about 4 or 5 years. Actually met a couple of their guests, that are places that they had went that I actually went to. But I really didn't get into it until about, like I said, about 15 years ago or so. And I followed and joined just a whole bunch of different groups, not as a member, but as a paying guest. Learned, I like to say I learned what to do, but no, I learned what not to do. That was my whole goal. Became a tour guide for about 3 years at the Lemp Mansion with another group. So I'm really familiar with that. And I've been doing, like I said, investigating since, and I now call myself a para researcher, para historian. I find stories. I find stories, and I try to find evidence to support some of the stories. Some friends of mine and I, about 10 of us, I don't even know, 6, 7, maybe even 8 years ago, we made one short documentary about the Missouri Botanical Gardens here in St. Louis. We lovingly call it Shaw's Garden. And we interviewed the people who work there. They told us their stories, and then 10 of us over like a 24-hour period, 3 8-hour nights, 8 p.m. till 4 a.m., wandered around the garden. It was so cool walking around Shaw's Garden, and in the dark, just trying to gather evidence. Came back with about 300 pieces of evidence.
Wow.
We ended up using, a lot of them weren't strong enough to use because they were really faint or you really couldn't hear it. But we came up with used out of that probably about 130 or so clips and videos and pictures and stuff in the documentary. It's a 16-minute documentary called Spirits in the Garden. It's on YouTube if you ever want to watch it. It's also on the Missouri Botanical Gardens Facebook page, or I'm sorry, their page, their website. But that really got me into it, and I've been doing that kind of stuff and giving lectures now for about 5-6 years through the St. Louis County Library. Now I've expanded into Jefferson County Library, and I just got an invite to do one over at the in St. Charles County in September. A friend of mine is actually trying to get me into Scott Air Force Base to give them a lecture during Halloween, and I'm just so freaking excited about all this.
That's awesome.
And then Adrian, contacted me. What was it, September last year? And says, "Hey, I got an idea. I want to do this." I'm like, that sounds interesting. Am I going to have time? I'm also a CPA. I do some tax work, in the tax season. And I'm also a controller for a family-owned hardware chain, 15 stores, and I'm the controller for it. So I take care of all the, the reporting and stuff like that. So I'm like, am I going to have time? I think I thought about it for what I think I got back with you, the next day, and said, sure, I'll try it. Yeah. I figured the worst is that I'm going to not have enough time and I'm going to shirk my duties. I'll be able to sit back and just watch and do nothing. But no, I've been pretty active, and it has been absolutely fascinating.
It is
so
fun.
It's absolutely fascinating. And I mean, I have seen some crazy stuff, and I will answer your question again at the very beginning. Yes, to every single one of your questions. And I've seen a lot of it too, or at least I think I've seen some of it. We're talking UFOs, aliens, even Sasquatch, Bigfoot, cryptid. I saw something similar to what Adrian and Tina saw. A buddy of mine and I were on a couple weeks ago. We actually saw something out near Jefferson City, Missouri, about, I want to say it was probably about 5 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And we don't know what the heck it was. That was the strangest night. It was, we saw UFO activity. We saw blinking lights in the sky. We saw a giant triangle appear in the sky and then roll out to nothing. My car horn goes off as soon as that's over, 3:00 in the morning in front of the hotel, thinking, we haven't even checked in yet. We're going to get kicked out. But going to get horrible pizzas, this creature ran across the highway in front of us. And it was just a low creature about, I don't even know, maybe 2 feet high, probably about, because it was running, about maybe, stretched out about 4 or 5 feet long. But the weird thing that I totally remember about it is that the elbows on this thing were reverse. So instead of being, I don't know how it would be, but they were like up like this, and it was just totally crazy. And my buddy, I zipped on by, and my buddy kept watching it running out. It ran across the field and down this creek bed. Of course, we're no chance to even catch it again. And then we're driving a little bit further, driving across a little creek bed, and you know how a little fog forms, like 10 foot, a few feet high and about 10 foot deep or whatever. I go buzzing through this little thing, not thinking anything. My buddy yells at me. He goes, "You just killed 2 people." I'm like, "What?" And he told me, he said he saw 2 people standing within the shadows of the fog. I never even saw them. So I call them fog people. I never saw them, and I killed them. I mean, they're fog went flying everywhere. So we get back with the pizzas, and we were at a place called Where Pigs Fly. Cindy, I hope you're watching. But we're going to have her on the show probably in a couple months. But she's out in Lynn, Missouri. It's about 30 miles or so from Jeff City. That's where we were at all day. And, that night, But we get back. I open up the gates. It's an animal rescue farm. Open up the gate, close it. I had just shut my door a little bit because Steve was holding the pizzas. I come get about the back end of the car, and I hear my car door slam shut from a closed position. I'm like, what are you doing? I walk up, open the door, and he goes, did you just shut that door? I'm like, I was like 10 feet away. I thought maybe it was one of the pigs that were running around, bumped into it, or animal. There's no animals around. And he goes, first thing out of his mouth was spooks. I'm like, yep, because the place is haunted. There's an old mansion there. It's about 130, 40 years old. And yeah, we've investigated there, and it's pretty active. So we figured it was just spooks. So I just rolled up a lot of things in one, but that's kind of my background and some of the crazy stuff.
That's why I made my background so short, so you and Adrian could have your time.
I was going to tell you, thank you.
Have you ever heard me talk before? I mean, I just do.
No, Adrian, I've never heard you talk before. You want to go again?
I'm usually the quiet one because I can't get a word in edgewise. No.
You were talking about aliens earlier, and I'm not saying it is or not isn't, but remember when we were on your show, and I made the comment explaining or talking about seeing the fox-looking creature. You remember that?
Yes.
I was like 6. I was looking out the window.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now my daughter, who you guys saw on here, she's 6. She told me last week that she was looking in our bedroom, and out the window she saw a smiling man.
Oh, nice.
With big eyes.
Ooh.
She said it freaked her out.
Yeah. Time to buy her a shotgun.
Right?
She said it freaked her out. I didn't go in a lot of detail, but yeah, she said, and that it reminded me exactly of that. So I don't know.
Was it out the first story, or is she on the second story?
No, it was at the first story. But see, what's crazy is,
at least.
Yeah, the only window that she could see out of everything else is covered up. We have a window unit, and in there, and there's a bush right there. You can still see, but it's all broken up. So I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Well, 6. That's about the age that the kids can really articulate what they're seeing, and it's just before they start getting trained into not seeing it anymore.
Right.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't fall into that.
Yeah, I didn't either. I just found that kind of odd that we were about the same age and almost the same experience almost. So
are you a woo-woo person?
Me?
Yeah.
Absolutely, I am.
Are you woo-woo?
Yeah. You woo-woo. You can see things, hear things.
So she's woo.
Oh yeah.
So your daughter's woo-woo too now.
She could be.
Yeah.
I honestly feel things more than I see or hear.
Yeah. I just couldn't imagine. I guess being a kid and experiencing all this stuff, at least she got somebody there she can go to and help guide her through it.
Yeah.
But that's what I always get. Yeah. I get all these people coming to our group and they're like, I've got all this stuff going on and I don't know how to deal with it. I'm like, I'm not going to be any help.
Yeah, I can direct you to people, but
you mean X-ray your head? I don't know.
All right. Now, Adrian, talk about X-rays. Have you guys ever seen any weird like implant type things on X-rays?
Ooh.
No, nothing that. Yeah, I've had some people say that, I don't know what that is, and I'm like, I don't know. I've never really seen too much. I've been doing this for 38 years, and I've X-rayed all kinds of body parts and all kinds of situations, and most things are pretty explainable. But I always do refer to everything as alien implants. And I tell them, especially now, I said, it is Arkansas, it's a possibility. So who am I to judge?
This is true.
I usually like to stick with the probing questions, but
Have you been probed before? Does it hurt down there? I mean,
personally, I have not.
Oh no!
Just saying, not that there's anything wrong.
Okay.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. To the world.
I think Adrian's surgical mask type thing is like green, got little antlers on it, or antennas on it. Yeah.
Why not?
Okay, Pam. Are you good now?
I'm good. I got them all sent
All right.
so I'm good.
No, like I said, I mean,
Pam just strikes me as a good person in general. So
Pam is
she's like one of
awesome.
the.
She is the best.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Best.
Oh, thank you. I'm
But-
like, Jess knows me. She's back there going, y'all don't know.
I don't think I know any other Pam.
Yeah, Pam just strikes me as the type of person when she gets mad, she'll be like, "Gosh."
No.
Oh, you have no idea.
No.
But that's cute
Well,
that you think that.
okay. Okay. Well, let me rephrase this. Everybody that
Apology.
everybody that listens to the show Pam has a persona.
Okay.
We'll say that. Is that better, Jess?
It is.
Sure,
I try to be
we can
good.
go with that.
But yeah.
So I mean, I don't think anybody's with you guys being on as much as you have been. I don't know that anybody's really heard what got you into the paranormal.
Well, honestly, I was like Adrian's wife. I was the weird kid, and Jess. I think we all were kind of. I was the weird kid in the library when I was young, checking out the books and all the weird stuff. Loved it my whole life. And when I was younger, I had some experiences, especially, let's see, one of my friends, she had started remodeling a house, and she asked me if I'd help her do the wallpaper in it. So I went in to help her, and at the time I had both legs, so I was able to actually use a ladder and things. So I was, and she wanted to leave the paneling up. She just wanted me to wallpaper over paneling. So that's what I was doing. Well, there were a lot of nails in that old paneling, so you would go up and the staircase or up the ladder and hit a nail, obviously. So I just had the hammer hung on the ladder. And I had just decked a whole section, and I went to carry it up, and there's a nail. So I go back down, I get the hammer, and I'm looking around to pick it up, and it's not there. And I'm like, what the heck? I just had it. So I yell at my friend, hey, did you come in here by any chance and get this? And she was like, no. So she came in and helped me look for it, and it wasn't in the room, and I had just used it. So we were like, okay, that's aggravating. But we knew stuff happened in her house. So we went out to her garage, got another hammer, came back in, and I went up, pulled the nail, and hung the ladder, or hung the hammer on the ladder, stepped down and stepped on the original hammer. So it had, wherever it had gone, it came back, and it was right there. And that scared me, because if something is able to physically move an object as heavy as a hammer, what else are they capable of? And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm done for the day. I may be done forever in this house. But stuff like that really got me interested. She had a lot of different activity in her house. I got to experience a lot of it that way. And kind of went from there, kept the, I think my first ghost hunt, she was a part of that too. And it was in the late 80s, early 90s when we went out and started. Back then we were using compasses and talcum powder and things like that. But, it worked then too. We had our old 35 millimeter cameras and disposable cameras, all kinds of fun stuff. But we were catching evidence then. I still have a cassette tape that has an EVP on it. I just don't have anything I can play the cassette tape on.
Oh, wow.
But I do still have it. Yeah. That got me started. And I was working with Mark's wife at the library, and she knew I was into all this crazy stuff, and so is Mark. And she's like, you guys ought to get together and talk. Maybe you can find some other people in the town that might be interested. So we did. We got together, and we were like, okay, we're going to put this call out. And we're either going to get run out of town, or we're going to find some really cool friends. So we did. And we had, gosh, Mark, how many? Was it 20 or 30 people showed up?
The first time, yeah, at least 20.
It was a lot.
There was a lot.
We were shocked and thrilled. And so, each meeting kind of dwindled down a little bit more, and it ended up coming down to a core group of 4 people. And we're still all 4 there, still going strong. Jennifer Rawson, she's joined us as an auxiliary member, but yeah, still going strong. That's what got me started. We started our group in 2012, so it's been going for a while.
That was a good year.
That was a good year.
So,
we have run into that a lot of things happened in 2012.
It is. It's
so
crazy
what's
how many
the
have come across.
what's the connection? What do you
Sir.
think?
2012. We don't know. The first time we got to thinking about it, first thing that came to my mind was the Mayan calendar ending. But we know that just started another rotation, of
Yep.
whatever. But I don't know.
Well, it really was the
They
end of
found-
one world. Into
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Next.
2012
Yeah.
was supposed to be the end of the world. So after it
They-
didn't end, we was like, well, let's do something.
They found the Higgs boson.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Higgs boson was found. Yeah, there was all kinds of stuff coming out that year.
I mean,
Pretty
I don't know if
interesting.
you guys have experienced this through your podcast or whatever, but I know, us four have coming to realize, hey, there, I don't believe for me, I don't believe in coincidences anymore.
Yeah.
And everything's connected. You guys have probably heard us say that a million times.
Yeah.
But
Like the
that's
giant
way I look at it.
tagline of the.
It
Yeah.
is.
It is. I mean, there's like a reason. I totally believe there's a reason that everybody finds
Mhm.
everybody. And just like with Pam, I met her through the ghost guy because
Yeah.
of Bordertown. And whenever Adrian brought the idea of AMOK to me, I was like, oh, I know somebody. And I met Ken through Adrian.
Mhm.
So it was like he knew somebody, I knew somebody. It was just,
Cool.
it was pretty
I was
interesting.
like, I'd like to do a show about Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Kansas, but I don't know anybody in Kansas. Does anybody live in
That's for sick
Kansas?
and plain.
I thought Kansas was just something you drove through. Actually, no, I knew people in Kansas. Everybody's really busy, and I was like, I didn't know anybody other than these people. And then Shauna said, "Hey, Pam's a person," and I was like, "Yeah,
Pam's
I
a person.
don't
I'm a
know,
person.
I don't know this Pam, but now I do. I actually got a hug from Pam this weekend, so now we're
I know
for
we
real."
finally all got to meet in person. Yeah, this weekend was the first time we've been doing the podcast since January, and we started meeting up. Maybe a month or two before that, or was it?
Mhm.
When did we start meeting up?
No, end of November, beginning of December.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Somewhere around there.
and just this weekend's the first time we actually all got to meet in person. So that's pretty cool.
Well, except for me. I mean, y'all knew me.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah, I had met you in person already.
And I had met you
Not Adrian or
once.
Ken.
Yeah, and Ken had met me once.
Yeah, it was just me. I was the one.
I was the connecting link. I had met all of you.
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
And
I'm kidding.
I
And
mean,
I was-
welcome to the club. I'm often called the missing link.
I was the missing link in this
Wait.
group, apparently. Yeah.
That was my next question too. Go ahead.
What was your next question?
About the missing link, but that's
Oh.
okay.
It is fun
What?
because I mean, Mark, would you have ever thought all those years ago, you and I meeting up and putting that call out? Look where it's brought us.
I would never have thought it.
Look at the tribe that we've got now. How cool is this? We've got the greatest people in our lives. And I knew who Jess was because we've grown up in the same town, but she's a lot younger than me. So I had never hung around with her or, really knew her. And now she's one of my best friends. So
Mine
same-
too
Aw.
now. Mine
I
too now.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought I was just meeting a bunch of strangers that were interested in the same thing as me, and I found a couple of sisters. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Aw.
Absolutely. Oh gosh, it's all gushy now.
Ew, gross.
He's
I am kind of a gushy guy, squishy anyway.
It is. This is the best experience of my life. I know that. It's been fun. It's been great to find like-minded people because
Oh, definitely.
that's not always the easiest thing to do, and
No.
especially in something that's not mainstream, to put yourself out there, and it's a lot more acceptable now, but even back in 2012 it was more of a scary thing sometimes to put yourself out there for ridicule.
Well, yeah.
Oh, heck,
especially
when I got
Now
here
in-
you can make fun of me. I could care less because I have people that I know and trust and love that are got my back. So
When I moved here in 2008, okay, look at me. I've got different color hair, piercings, and tattoos. And I'm
You
sitting
do?
here at oh, yeah, you didn't see them?
I,
I was in a grocery store and some lady dropped money. So I bent over to pick it up and hand it to her. And she got up and she didn't see me. And she was like, and just turned around and walked away. And I was like, you're
Should-
welcome.
Just threw some gang sign right after that.
Right. But I was like, wow, I really did move into a a really small place, but I think I found my way through it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And it just us putting ourselves out there helps other people understand that it's not a bad thing, and
Right.
they can join in too. And yeah, there's good
And people with
out
blue
there.
hair aren't all crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
Blue hair.
I
maybe
wouldn't know.
Blue-haired old
little
ladies.
bit. Maybe a
Wouldn't
little
know.
bit.
And librarians aren't all mean,
Mark, you got to
Right?
dye your head.
I'd look like an Easter egg.
I was going to say you look like an Easter egg. Put those stripes and colors.
I guess the biggest thing I love about it is Mark and I, we on our other show, we preach a lot about community, especially in the past year. We've talked a lot about community. In this community, everybody that we've been involved with has just been amazing.
Yeah.
Totally awesome.
And we have you to thank, Phil, for, you drug Mark into the whole podcasting thing, and
Yes.
Mark drug us along right with him. And because of that, we've made so many like paranormal type friends and UFO type friends. We've never even met. They live across the country from us, but we all know each other so well.
It's awesome. It's an awesome community.
Yeah, that community is so fantastic. I'm just going to put that out there. Anybody who's interested in podcasting, get into it, because they are so welcoming and they help each other out, and they will every podcast I've been involved with is so willing to just throw you a bone.
Yeah.
And
Everybody has
absolutely.
been super supportive.
Yeah. And be like, you should start a podcast too. This is how you do it. And if you need any help, just call me and I'll come on and be your guest, and we'll get this rolling. So super good.
I went down in November down to it was about 30 miles or so north of San Antonio, and met the two guys that got me into podcasting. That was Ben and Joe from the UFO Garage, who will be coming back soon. They've got some hilarious videos up on YouTube. You guys need to go check them out. They're hilarious. I was dying.
They are.
They are. They're good.
Have you seen their new one?
Oh,
yeah.
The
Artifact.
do their comeback. It's hilarious.
Since we're talking here.
Oh, no. Pull it up.
Oh, my God.
These guys are the most genuine people. They are exactly like they are on their show. And
Sweet. That's what I like.
Yeah, there's no difference. And the first night we met, man, we all got hammered. That's the first time I've been drunk in a long time. But these guys have made contacts like in the UFO world, like Lou Elizondo, he's been on their show. I mean, big name guys. But they're genuine.
Yeah.
And that's what's amazing about it.
Well, see, it's kind of hard in this field, because you have those that are just in it for themselves, and they just want to get out there and make a big buck instead of trying to actually get a show out there. They're just going after the main stars and the main things, thinking that is going to get them somewhere. And I learned about that myself throughout the first podcast that I had, and I was trying to network, because the person that got me involved had asked me to come on their show, just kind of like what you are going on. And they said, you really need to get a podcast. You have a personality for it. You're just so awesome. And I'm like, okay, that's great. You're buttering me up. Awesome. I'm awesome. So I started it.
It's my hobby.
Everybody I've met has been super supportive.
Yes.
But Ben and Joe, I mean, you saw them up here earlier, the Space Oddities.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys are familiar. Yeah, I don't know if you guys. No, it wasn't Ben and Joe. That was Gary Voorhees.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but he was an eyewitness to the Nimitz experience with the Tic Tacs and all that. He was on the Princeton, and he's got an actual business going now. And he was supposed to come on here a month or so ago, but something fell through. And he was actually going to jump on and talk permaculture with us, because he's in a permaculture on our other show.
Nice.
But he's an awesome guy too. I mean, and like I said, it's the community, man. They're all and what I like about it anymore is it doesn't matter where you wind up in the community. Like Mark and I, we run the gambit. We kind of talk about everything. But you have guys that specialize in ghosts. You guys have that specialize in cryptids and Bigfoot and all that. Anymore, it's just one big community now. I mean, people are accepting either way, and they listen to everybody. That's what's awesome about it.
It is. It's fun. Pretty much
Go ahead.
That's all. I pretty much, my whole Spotify is just full of podcasts, pretty much.
Oh yeah. I listen
I'm
to a
gonna
lot
play
of
this.
podcasts.
And
I'm gonna play this video real quick.
I was saying, and we're all realizing that it's all connected.
Yes,
It is,
Oh,
and so are we.
I would agree 100%, Ken.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, back to
I'm
you.
gonna play this video real quick. I was dying. I had to watch it. I was on Instagram and it played like 3 different parts, but this is all the full video. It's hilarious, and this is not child friendly. So if you have a child watching,
Cover their ears.
Cover their ears or have them go out of the room.
it doesn't.
I'm
they don't
underage.
cuss.
Yeah,
They don't
cover their
cuss,
ears.
but
Oh, sorry.
yeah, they don't cuss, but there's innuendo, I should say. You
On
guys
the
can hear that?
AMOK channel,
Yeah.
we discover ancient artifacts and their possible otherworldly origins.
Me and my buddy Steve, we were out back. We were hanging out, having a little guys'
That's
day.
Joe.
And we decided to set up an adult slipping slide, as you would.
Oh Lord.
We're monkeying around. We're playing. And all of a sudden, I could see it on Steve's face. I didn't know what it was at first, but I knew it was something big. It was something serious. Before I knew it, Steve stood up, and I was so worried for Steve. We ended up finding what we believed to be some sort of ancient artifact, writing on it. And we didn't know what to do, where to turn, or who to talk to. And so we decided to send it into some experts to get some tests done, see what we had.
In researching this ancient artifact, I have found that it could be some kind of key of some kind. The ancient writing I was able to decipher to a certain extent that it is indeed ancient and possibly alien.
Could this artifact indeed be a piece of advanced technology from our distant past, or from another world?
It seems to be some kind of soft stone. The more you touch it, the harder it becomes.
Oh God.
It could be an arrowhead. Maybe it was a knife of some kind.
Nice.
Could be some kind of alien extraterrestrial technology.
Maybe it's a spoon,
Oh gosh, that straight face.
Maybe it's ancient. Maybe it's alien. Maybe it's one and the same. All I know is ever since we found this artifact, our lives have changed forever.
I bet they have.
That is
Gives
awesome.
you a new
Right.
perspective.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Hey,
That is
those
awesome.
guys. Those
like
guys
that.
are awesome.
The production value of that is great. That's awesome. Yeah.
That was
They
awesome.
did a fantastic job with it.
They're actually they're should be finishing up soon. Their editor backed out on them, but they have a full length documentary. They went all over down to Sedona. They had contacts in Sedona, Hot Springs. Eric Mitchell. I don't know if you guys have heard of him or familiar with him. Yeah, me too, Enzo. He said Ben and Joe are great. He said he's glad they're coming back. Yeah, me too. They've been out for a while, but life happens. We understand.
Yeah.
But they've had this guy Eric Mitchell. He is an abductee,
Oh gosh.
and he's actually had physiological changes. He can manipulate sound waves with his mind, all sorts of stuff, and it's documented. These are documented cases.
Wow.
And they have a full-length documentary with him or about him, trying to make people aware of what's going on. So they do care about the field, but they come at it at a different angle.
It's just like that angle we like to come at it at.
Yeah. Yeah, they're laid back, easy going, and like I said, they're just genuinely awesome guys, man. I mean, when I met him, the first thing he did was give me a hug. I'm like, okay,
Aw.
I'm not a huge hugger, but okay, you know. But
They
yeah,
look
I mean,
awesome.
great guys, and they're hilarious. They really are.
So if they need an editor, I'm available.
But all the work they did, Ben actually owns he actually built our website and stuff, Nito Creative. He does a lot of like work on the internet and filming and all that good stuff, advertising, all that. I mean, super good guy.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I would recommend checking them out.
out.
They've got tons of videos and stuff on YouTube or wherever you get podcasts and all that stuff. So
is it all under UFO Garage?
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yes, I would definitely have to watch that because that was like right up my alley. I'll have to show my husband that.
They're hilarious, man. They especially early on. I mean, everybody says, "Man, don't go back and listen to our first stuff." I'm telling you, go back and listen to their first stuff because they didn't have anything but their
that's
sense
the
of humor.
funniest crap.
Yeah, and they're hilarious. But yeah, they do deep dives and stuff, and they go. I mean, really informative shows too. You know, but they're enjoyable. They're entertaining, and you know, I mean, I wish those guys nothing but the best. And I'm actually trying to talk them into coming up for the Paracon. So,
that would be
so
great.
awesome.
Yeah, that would be super.
That would be awesome.
Which I need to get a hold of them, but I'm hopefully they do. So
Yeah, that would be great.
Well, I think we're all.
We'll have to talk about their.
We're
have to talk about their uplifting jokes. And
sense of humor.
Yeah.
my son said, speaking of that, you're still doing a cookout. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good deal.
So
Good deal.
Very excited.
'Cause I'm looking for it. I want to see my 4th UFO.
well, hopefully we can see. I mean, I see satellites every night out here. When I take my dogs out, I'm like, I go out just to look while I'm waiting on them to do their business. I see satellites all the time. I've seen a few weird things out here. It's been a while back. It was like we had just got home, and Mark and Jess, you guys will probably have a good idea where I'm talking about. But where we normally park, there's a long sidewalk going to the house. Well, I just got out of the truck, started walking down the sidewalk, and I'm always sky watching, especially at night. And I'm just watching, and I see this flash, almost like you would, like you see on Star Trek. Just a boom, a flash. There was no sound; it was just a flash. And I was like, "What the heck was that?" And I asked my wife, "Did you see that?" She's like, "Yeah, I saw that." So I was like, "At least it wasn't just something with me,
right?"
So it kind of left me questioning.
So
yeah, definitely
on that flash, deep space. It kind of looked like. Because that night I was telling you about, that weird night where we're seeing flashes in the sky, they were just like lightning bugs in the deep space. Just a flash here, and then you'd look across the sky, there'd be a flash somewhere else. It was almost like they were communicating with each other. It's like, but never could see anything. And then we see the triangle later on. It unrolled like a cloud or like a blanket. It started off really tiny and it just went out like this in a giant V. It covered 2/3 of the sky, and then it went to a straight line. It was a perfect triangle, and then the point started disappearing into the other end, and then to the flat end, and it just gone.
Wow.
It must have lasted about, I don't know, maybe a minute or two, something like that. But like, what is the deal here? That's a weird looking cloud.
Yeah.
But it's some crazy stuff up there.
There is, and a friend of the show he's one of the hosts of the Paranormal Chop Shop, Sonny Conway, was telling his story one night, and he saw it was a triangular shaped, but it was so low. He said you could actually make out rivets.
Oh wow!
He said it was moving so slow. He said his daughter was in the shower. He's like, "Hey, you need to get out here and hurry up, and check this out, so that way I know I'm not crazy."
Wow,
that's interesting that you can see rivets.
Yeah.
He said it was quiet. He said he didn't hear anything. It was moving extremely slow. I can't remember how I can't remember the distance from what he said, but He said that was really the gist of it, but it was low enough. He said you can make rivets out.
Wow.
Like it was put together. So.
And now they're advertising it all over the news and the media, and it's like, okay.
So let me get your opinion on that. I mean, are you thinking like Project Bluebeam, or are you thinking real deal?
I'm thinking it's just, hey, look at the shiny while they do something else on the side.
I would agree. A
little wagging the dog.
Yep.
Enzo said Sonny originally thought it was a B-2 bomber that was going to crash into his house. Yeah, but it was.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
B-2 is not quiet.
No,
they're not.
Oh man, no. Yeah, I totally think it's the government doing crap.
That's what I think too, and I think they've known about a lot of this stuff for nearly 75
right?
years.
Where are the other 50 areas?
And it's like, they've known it for 75 years, and every 25, 30, 40 years they throw out something new. Where are we getting all these new inventions from? We've known about it forever, and they already know about it. So I think they are so far advanced in technology. The government is secret government, whatever you want to call them. I don't care. But that they're testing things, and I think they're purposely letting people see it just to, get some reaction. What is the reaction going to be?
Right.
I mean, that makes sense.
Well, that also lets them show off to our enemies. Look what we've got.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But them not telling people, it's the people who are seeing it telling.
I still want to know where the other 50 areas are.
That brings up a level of fear too among the public.
Oh,
which is another way to control.
True.
Yep. Fear factor.
Yep, I would agree. But in all honesty, I think the more and more people that see it, I think the less and less they'll fear it.
Yeah.
Well, that's true too, because now it's getting to the point to where, I mean, look, they put it on TV now, and who reacts anymore? And just the average everyday person. Now, if you're in the community, you're more likely to pick on it and say, hey, look, they're bringing this out now. What's this all about? But the normal person now is just like, oh yeah, it's on the news again, and going about their own day.
Right.
And Enzo, I see your point there, and I believe that they actually have weaponized it already. They're just not using it yet.
Well, no, they're not going to use it. They're hiding it. They're hiding it for the simple fact of.
But it's already been weaponized. It's ready to go.
I mean, they've already renamed a lot of the bases and everything out there.
Yeah.
So it's like,
don't get me started on that.
No, I know, right?
So you guys are talking. You're talking. They think they reverse engineered alien technology, or do you think the aliens are sharing technology?
I think we have them here already on Earth.
Sharing.
I think there's. If you're going to go that route, I don't think that we would have been able to do anything that we could use to weaponize, other than maybe you're talking about the aircraft and stuff like that. But I don't know about that, because we're pretty smart as far as that goes. And when it comes down to weapons of destruction, we're really good at killing. We always push the envelope as what is a better way and a more effective way to kill more people. So
let's go test it out. Sorry.
Humans are pretty good at that. Now, if you want to believe that you were using alien technology, and I fully believe MRI is alien technology. Because like CT, I can understand the science of it. It makes sense to me, just like X-ray makes sense. I can understand it when you're doing the science. Now, MRI, they're like, some person is supposed to have figured out that, hey, let's put somebody in a opposing magnet that'll switch the poles and turn you north and south, go back and forth, and that puts out a radio energy, a radio wave, and let's take that radio wave and turn it into a picture of the inside of their body. No freaking human figured that out. That's total alien technology.
I don't know.
I agree.
Has to be.
Well, yeah, X-rays do make sense. I think it was Tesla, wasn't it? That started X-raying. There's X-rays of his foot back before,
Tesla was a genius.
Tesla was a
that
genius.
That poor man got the short end of the stick.
He was the first alien.
Speaking of technology, did you guys see the recent deal where they were talking about using sound waves to kill cancer cells?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I have not seen that yet.
I still want to do a show on harmonics too.
Yeah, we need to do a show on harmonics. We really do.
That is amazing.
Sound
waves.
One of the things that Tesla said was everything is a matter of frequency.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't remember what frequencies. It was like over 1,000 megahertz or something like that, if I remember right. That was busting these things apart.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be good for your body as well, the rest of your body.
Well, I
you
think
know how they are.
Don't they use sound waves for some treatments now? Anyway, like was it gallstones? Is that what they
kidney
are?
stones?
Kidney stones. There we go.
Ultrasound.
Yeah.
That's called lithotripsy. Yeah.
So,
that is wow.
Well, yeah, and pretty soon they're going to be making the crop circles again. Because I think that's all sound also.
Well, I think that's hilarious that you bring up crop circles because they used to have them all over the place, but I mean, it's kind of died a lot.
It hasn't. It hasn't.
Not amongst the community, no. But if you remember back in the 90s.
It hasn't died. You just don't get to hear about them anymore. They're all over the place. They had a crop of them in
that's
Alabama
what I'm saying.
a few weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yes.
We're at in Alabama.
In your backyard.
Down.
Please say Dothan.
Under. I don't know the exact little town, but it's somewhere down below Huntsville.
Oh, that's North Alabama. So yeah, I could see that. But I mean, like back in the 90s, they were showing like pictures in newspapers and pictures all over the news and everything. But like right now, they really.
That's because that's when the Doug and Dave dudes from Britain came out and tried to say that they'd done them all. They got popular in the news. So they were showing them. But they've never stopped in their frequency. It's just that the news has quit retorting on them because there's not a big thing about them right now.
Yeah, but you would think they would have brought them back out since they brought out the fact that they've caught ships and everything, which I find hilarious.
Now, I know, talking to Gary, he was on, it's been a long time since he's been on, but his story is pretty compelling. I mean, you guys have probably, if you follow it, you guys have probably heard about Commander Fravor and all that coming off the Nimitz, the F-18 pilot, all that.
Yeah.
Gary said you could watch these things through the binoculars and watch them come out of 80,000 feet. We don't have anything that we know of. Okay, I'll preface that can fly 80,000 feet. We may have
not that I don't know. Stop and start and no.
At that point, it would be coming in from re-entry.
Right. Yeah.
So, and then part of Commander Fravor's story is when he got to the site where these things were spotted. He said he looked down at the ocean, and you could see something submerging.
See, that's Debbie Ziegelmeyer. She's all about the UFOs and the oceans and the water.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm hoping to give her a holler here pretty soon.
Yeah.
That would be a good one to get on.
Mm-hmm.
Because she lives in town. She's not too far from me. A couple miles.
Awesome.
And she is pretty passionate about that. Very adamant about the water.
Absolutely. The crop circles in Alabama, I just looked them up. Rogersville. Is that the one you're talking about? You said just recently, though. This was in February of 21.
Yeah, this one happened just a few weeks ago.
Ooh.
Wow. And the weird thing is,
talking about that, weren't we?
Yeah, we were kind of talking about crop circles yesterday or the day before a little bit, up in on our trip. But I've been joking about them for about 3 or 4 weeks now because I've been passing a lot of cornfields over in Illinois area. I do a lot of investigating.
I'm getting started about the cornfields.
Okay, I mean cornfields, soybeans, and whatever else, but I've been seeing these straight lines. I'm like, oh my God, guys, look at that. They're getting lazy. They're only doing one straight line now. Of course, two parallel lines. I'm like, it's a truck, dude. But I've been joking with a couple of kids. And wow, that's kind of cool. I said, yeah, maybe those are a landing strip. I don't know, but then we start talking about them.
We were talking about crop circles in the area too, and Jess pointed out, and if you guys talked about this when I was out, I apologize. But Jess pointed out when we came through going to Ray County that Odessa, Missouri, is where there were quite a few crop. Well, it was at least one. Tell the story, Jess, because I'm going to massacre it.
There was a crop circle found outside of Odessa. I think it was in a soybean field. I might be wrong on that. But a farmer had found it in his field, and they brought people out to investigate it and to take pictures and measurements. And they left for lunch. And when they came back to finish up what they were doing, it had grown. Mm-hmm. It had added circles to itself, and it continued to grow throughout the day. But this isn't actually unique. This has happened in several other places throughout time, where the circles have continued to develop over the course of a day or two.
Which is fascinating, especially with people, there. Granted, they were gone when it continued, but, how's someone going to get in and add to it that quickly and that accurately?
Right.
Where it's not all over the place, looking messy.
Well, see, I've had experience with seeing UFOs over my lifetime, but actually seeing a real life crop circle and stuff, no, I've never had that experience. And then when I went to I know, right? And I'm sitting there going, well, somebody was talking to me about this UFO whisperer, and then they were talking about how this one guy is this and this one guy is that. And at the time that I was doing the previous podcast, that person was just really interested in like stars and paranormal and horror actors. And I'm sitting here going, yeah, but I like, the stories of the haunted places and UFOs and Bigfoot. And I've never really been able to investigate into that aspect. So what you're telling me is like, wow, I'm like a kid. I want to see.
And to think we just drove right through the town where they had an actual documented crop circle, which was really cool too.
Yeah. No Enzo. They don't just appear along ley lines. They actually mostly appear above natural aquifers.
Ooh. So that leads me to wonder, if you see all these USOs, we know there's huge cave systems underwater.
Yep.
I can't help but wonder, if they're going in those cave systems.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, how many people do you actually know that will go into those cave systems?
Right.
There's not.
No, and a lot of people that do just disappear and never come back.
Right.
Yep.
So
and then go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
What is it called where they put sand on a amplifier and with the different
I know what you're talking about.
It dances into different what's
shapes.
That called? But that's what that kind of reminds me of. If there's an aquifer underneath, I think we've talked about this just before. If there's an aquifer underneath, if it's hitting a specific
harmonic,
yes.
Would that make it bounce into a specific pattern? Is that where some of the patterns are emerging from potentially?
Oh, it could.
Well,
that's why
the question.
I keep saying. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say that the question with that is crop circles are made up of so much more than just being shaken that way. There's heat involved. There's microwaves involved. There's metals involved. There's
been radiation before.
There's an actual cellular structure.
Yeah. There's we had discussed the mica sheen. Mm-hmm. We did an entire show on crop circles, and we had a whole discussion. They found this the reason why real crop circles are so shiny is because they found the sheen of mica. I can't remember the last name. It's a weird chemical name. Mm-hmm. It's a form of mica that is only found in like less than 1% of the earth. It's so little that they can't mine it because there's so little in the product they do find it in. And it's only found it's something stupid like 200 or 300 feet down under the crust of the earth. But they find it in bulk on this sheen that you find on those crop circles. So where the hell does that come from?
Yeah,
right.
It's a good question.
So
yeah, they're fascinating.
It is very fascinating.
Yeah,
because you look at it and you're like, okay, so it's not just one color that you see in the sky, and it's not just one shape that people see in the sky, and it's not just one shape of crop circle that you see, and it's amazing to try to tie everything together and see, okay, so in this area, what kind of shapes and stuff do you see of a crop circle? And in this area, what kind of shapes and stuff do you see of the crop circle? Is it like a hubcap and they just...
And what do they mean? What do they mean?
Right?
It may be
exactly.
one of these days we do know what it means. It may be like we're too primitive at this point to understand them,
Yeah.
Maybe somebody does.
Happened.
Right?
Yeah. That's a lot of things have evolved that way. Back what we thought was magic, millions of years ago or however many years ago. Now we know scientifically that it's not magic, it's actual natural thing, and this is how it occurs. It may just be one of those things, and 200 years from now, they're like, oh, those guys, listen to them debating crop circles, and this is what they really are. But this is what they thought they were.
And while they're drinking and laughing at us, right?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
viewing us like we would cavemen, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first one that I saw, I was like 7 years old, and it was just like a twinkling star in the sky that took off, and it was just twinkling, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's gone. Scared the shit out of me. Oh, excuse me, the poop out of me. Inside. I know we've
never heard that word before.
I know, right?
Potty mouth.
I gotta go to the other room again.
Well, I try not to curse on a mug. It's so hard.
Yeah, that's what happens. You get blue hair and then your mouth goes all potty.
My mouth went all potty a long time ago.
I've been known to drop the F-bomb on occasion.
Yeah, we've it's slipped here a few times.
But then you catch me many years later. I'm in my 20s, and I catch them in Florida, and they're orange. This like orange globes, big bright globes in the sky. And then here in Oklahoma, it was blue. So it's like, are they different colors in different locations? Because the first one I saw was in Alabama, and then
the ones my son saw over here were blue.
Ah,
or is it? Could it be atmospheric conditions?
That causing the color could be.
Yeah, could be.
And magnetic anomalies. Take a look at that magnetic anomaly map on USGS.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Oh wow. It's interesting because you also look at the aspect of, is it near water that you see them a lot? No. I know where I saw them. The very first one that I saw was not near water. It was near a field. I had there was a farmer that had land behind us, and it was a big, huge field and out in the middle of nowhere. And then the one in Florida was near the water because I live near the beach. And then the one here was in Tulsa. I mean, it's Tulsa. But it does. I really am thinking of trying to pinpoint of where was it all at. Was it the same one that I saw way back when I was 7? And they're watching over me? Or was it just random and I got lucky? Which I think is latter.
They knew you were going to
maybe you're one of their research projects.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
And they keep making
I bet they're having a field day.
Enzo just said, "Weird, my home internet just died. I'm on the phone now."
They're all
wow.
It never fails. Somebody's internet goes out.
That's usually me. Although mine's been a lot better. They replaced my line from the alley all the way to the house.
Oh, nice.
Last week, I think it was mine that was screwing up on AMOK.
Yeah, it was. So, but yeah, it's interesting.
2 weeks ago, they went through town and replaced a whole bunch of lines.
Oh.
Well, a week ago, mine was being all janky, so I don't know.
Well, they're supposed to have buried lines here. I don't see any buried lines around here.
We had buried bear the other day. Oh, you said
we
lines.
saw buried bear. Lines.
Bury the bear.
Not lions. Lines.
Bury the bear.
Here, I'll go to my southernism. Lines. There you go.
Got it.
Okay.
Y'all.
In Southern, it still sounds the same.
Lines. Right. Lines. I don't think my southernism really goes away. I just think it does.
I think
Really,
UFO
Oklahoman and Southern is not much different.
There's different dialects. It's weird.
There is.
It is really weird because you hear the difference of how they say, oh God, don't get me started on this one little video I saw of this one lady saying character. I'm like, what?
Character.
Nobody ever says character.
One of my friends lives in New York, and they would
character.
say documentary, and I was like,
Documentary. It's documentary.
documentary, right? And they would say elementary, and I'm like,
Oh
it's
my
elementary.
Elementary. And I say library. There's no R.
Says it that way. I was like, okay, maybe it's a New York thing. I don't know.
Oh my God, that word is
Say
character. Say it right. Character.
No.
Character.
My son
Well,
said,
I think
say
I'm
oil.
going to go down.
Say
to
Louis.
Say
Say oil.
dog.
Oh,
Roll the
oh.
window down. Change
Oh.
I did find out
Oh.
I can't say Massachusetts right.
Oh, you're
Apparently
answering
it
that?
does not have a T in it. Who knew?
Yep. I had to go. My friend, she's from Texas. Well, she lived in Arizona, and she's like, it's orange, Shauna, not orange.
It's
I
orange.
say orange. Right, exactly. I was like, I don't want to sit there and put more stuff in it. We try to shorten everything.
Right? it's y'all and all y'all.
Yep,
It
all
does.
y'all.
That I know.
Mhm.
Yep. I like my southernisms.
My,
I think
my
I just get
mom-
more ornery
my
the
mom
older
won't
I get.
hear this, so I can tell on her. She always says fish instead of fish, and she says dish instead of dish, and
Oh.
wash instead of wash. She says whoosh.
I say
So-
water.
Well, we would always make fun of her and say she put the fish in the dish and whooshed it.
Yeah,
And
whooshed it.
one of us and it got to where you would just say it because it was funny. And somebody said it accidentally in front of her, and she's got, we call it the Salisbury look. It's kind of the evil eye. She'll look over her glasses at you, and you're like pinned to the wall. And
Yeah.
that happened, and everybody scattered, and this one person was just like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry." It was funny. But yeah, put the fish in the dish and whoosh it.
It gets harsher whenever you're around those that actually
Mm-hmm.
do it. Me and this girl that sits right next to me at work, I thought I was kind of neutral until her and I started sitting side by side, and then it just comes out more and more every day. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. As Adrian always have on a tank. Yes, he always wear a tank top because he likes showing off his shoulders. He thinks they're beautiful.
No, I was like, I was going to dress up. I was going to wear a suit and tie and a hat, but I said it's kind of warm in this room without
Spilled
the
your
air
drink on it, didn't
conditioner
you?
going. Hey, you're lucky I'm wearing something.
That's why he has his sippy cup, Pam.
I was going to say, I want to see your sippy cup.
I do have a sippy cup right here.
Doesn't have that little lip thing on
With
it.
the
though.
screw-on lid, yes. I will never make that mistake again. That was a
Oh,
just-
man.
He tried to electrocute himself last week.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
It was
He did.
close.
I think that tumbler.
I'll be the next one.
Held a
Making
half a
trust
gallon.
It's a what?
Whoa.
What?
What'd you
what?
say? How many
said I-
gallons?
That's what I think. No,
Oh,
it's a slight exaggeration.
I was like, wow. Okay.
I got a 54-inch tumbler that I use sometimes, or 54
Enzo.
pounds.
Enzo,
Way to
Enzo
go,
says a
Enzo.
live stream.
Yeah.
Pants are always optional.
I never said it.
Word.
I'm not going to admit to wearing pants.
Oh,
Pants are for losers.
I didn't know we were
man.
going there. Oh,
Sorry.
my goodness.
I wear sweats or I wear
Gosh.
overalls. I guarantee you, I have never been on here wearing pants.
I wear
Sweats,
them.
yes.
Right on.
You're-
I'm wearing my
You're
nice
not-
shirt.
You're not Porky Pigging it.
I can't put my arm that way.
Woo.
Camouflage sweatpants.
Oh,
I'm glad you got pants on, Mark.
Right?
Thank you.
He's got breeches on tonight, y'all.
That kills me.
All right, we're off the rails
Breeches
here.
night. Sorry.
No,
So it's a normal night.
It's
Right,
absolutely.
it
that's
is
what
a
I was
normal
gonna say,
night, yeah.
yes, it's normal.
It's normal.
I have no filter. What the hell are we talking about?
There's no normal. I don't know what normal is.
We've had UFOs, abductions, cryptids, spirits. What else have we hit so far?
We haven't had puckwudgies.
UFOs. We haven't
Or
talked
fairies.
about puckwudgies. That's true.
I guess that's part of the cryptid.
About yay big.
Yeah, I heard they were evil. But I don't know.
They're tricksters.
They're tricksters, yeah. Okay. I'm hoping that when I go to New York in August, that a puckwudgie doesn't like meanly trick me, but tricks me so I can get something on a puckwudgie. But we'll see. People are like, "No, you don't want a puckwudgie around you." I'm
not.
Like, but if I could get evidence.
Really?
I can see you keeping one as a pet.
No, I don't want one as a pet. Heck no. I have a trickster ghost around here that likes to take things and put things everywhere. I don't need another creature like that.
I used to, then the kids moved out.
Yeah, you know what? Yep.
Apparently they're pretty popular in Indiana.
Yeah.
Thank you, Enzo.
2 to 3 feet tall, goblin-like creatures that lurk in forests. They transform into animals and use their mischievous ways for their own good. So anyway,
I also heard that the Indian tribes up near those areas talk a lot about them too.
They do, yeah.
Them and Bigfoot, but they call them other things, and I don't know what they call them. But
so I wonder.
Big Brother. A lot of times they refer to him as Big Brother.
Yeah. I wonder if that's what they're referring to in Hellier. They're talking about like the Kentucky Goblin and stuff like that.
Oh, if it is a puckwudgie, I don't know, but different things end up with different names just based on the person who saw them's perception of the world, and very well could be.
I'm naming my stuff after me from now on.
This is a Ken 1 and Ken 2.
I ran into a Ken Ra up in Indiana.
Ken Ra. Oh my!
You could have. There was a lot going on at that hotel, man.
You know what? We tried to do. I had a stream that whole night, but no. I was going somewhere with that, but it just kind of fell short. So.
I think the funniest part of the whole experience was the beds in the rooms. I kid you not.
Oh, how high they were!
I'm sure.
I love them.
And it was up past my belly button. So yeah, to watch me hike myself into a bed was creepy.
No. You did not the first time. So I'm giving it up now. Like she wasn't capable of rolling into the bed like I did. I had to get on the other side of the bed and was trying to help
grab my
pull her up.
But I did. But remember, I ended up doing it on my own.
She did later on. I heard her get up in the middle of the night, and I was like, "This is going to be interesting." And I was like, "Do I want to get up and help her get into bed?" And I was like, "Nope. If you keep helping them, they'll never learn to do it on their own." So.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I looked at that bed, and I'm like, "How the hell? It's like 3 feet off the ground."
I love tall beds.
I just leaped on it. I'm like, "Okay, I'm here."
I didn't have any problem with it. Did you, Sean?
I didn't have any problem with it. I thought it was amazing.
Oh, they were great. What you got on was great.
I mean, to actually just slip out of bed instead of trying to get myself up out of bed is pretty great.
I don't know. There were some people that were being really loud and noisy right outside our.
I don't know who they were.
Party and clear for like 6 o'clock. Dang.
I have no idea.
Swimming in the
loud.
pond. Literal cement pond.
Well, all you had to do was take your hearing aids out and you went there. That's what I did. I took my hearing aids out.
So well, huh?
Right? Exactly. Well, I don't know. I hadn't.
From outside. Go ahead.
I got up at 10:20 and said, "No, I can't."
From outside, I was the first one to get there, and I'm looking ahead. I'm like, "Oh, this is a cool building," and my GPS said, "Keep going." I'm like, "Okay." So I drove about another 30 feet. I'm like, oh my God. I see a Busch sign, a Budweiser sign, a blank concrete wall. And I'm like, where are we staying tonight?
Some place you picked.
Oh, great
going through my mind, I'm thinking, Bates Hotel. And then I'm like, I actually turned around and went back to make sure I was at the right spot, and then turned back around. Like, well, there is a door over there, but it's really dark. I'm like, this is really creepy. So I went in, really dark inside too, but I got my room, and I go around the side. I took pictures of it, sent it to everybody. And I'm like, from the outside, no, it looks horrible. But once you walked in the door, the rooms were nice.
Yeah, the rooms were nice. Really the beds were just really high.
He says it was horrible, but he's the one that chose this place.
Yeah.
I saved us money.
I actually liked my room. My room didn't have carpet. I don't like carpet.
I'm willing to put up with a lot as long as it saves me money.
What did Tina say? Tina said this looks more like a place to investigate.
Right?
Yeah.
Rather than stay here.
Exactly. Exactly. It was rather interesting. Y'all kept saying there was bodies buried in the pool.
Oh, God.
My woo-woo powers. I said 5.
It is kind of suspicious it was full of gravel.
Right? It was full of gravel. And
they had a picture of that. I meant to, and I didn't get one.
Oh, I didn't get a picture of that.
There's video of it.
But here's I don't know if you can see it or not.
Here you go with your phone again. No, can't see it. There you go.
Yep, I can see it.
Okay, that's the
outside. Oh my gosh.
It's too modern.
You can always send those to Pam.
Yeah, send it to me, and I could,
And just said gravel in the pool. There's gravel in the pool.
Yeah, Enzo, they filled the pool in, and then there was like a bed of gravel on top of it. So it was all wild.
And that's surrounded it. And it's like, this is a perfect place for Sasquatch. And of course, Adrian doesn't like Sasquatch because
I don't like Sasquatch.
He feels like he's going to be food. So I'm giving him the lowdown like, oh, yeah, there used to be a whole lot of residents here, but not many anymore. And he goes, well, maybe, what was it? Gypsy camps or something like that? Most of them have gone away. I was saying, there's food. There's plenty of food around for the Sasquatch.
I'm sure I taste like manna. So he'd want to eat me.
Well, you don't have to run faster, Adrian. You just have to run faster than Pam.
They use you for bread.
What is that? Oh, there we go.
What's that?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, the party crew.
I want that picture.
It's a horrible picture. I look terrible in it.
I couldn't tell. Was that outside?
Yeah, let me.
Okay.
I got zoomed in on Shaw. Let's see if I can get it to. Wait.
There you go.
Oh.
Look.
Oh, there's the
her mouth is wide open.
Pool behind her.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, that's the gravel pool behind her.
Sounds like you guys had a really good time.
Oh, we did.
We really did.
Good time.
We did. A lot of people with like minds and new friendship. It's awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
A lot of laughter, which was
gosh, yes.
Laughing at each other, not at each other.
Yes, yes.
That was
that's true friends.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
When you can laugh at your friend and they're just like, oh, you, and then you just go about your day. That's the best.
Well, you laugh at them, you look at them, and then they start laughing. You know you got it made.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Tina did that a lot.
That's funny.
It was a blast.
Was that a puck wedgie?
Right?
That
picture. I'm not gonna say anything.
Well, there are some things that you're not supposed to feed after midnight.
That's true, and that's one of them.
Or give them water. Yeah. Or give them water. Yeah.
Or give them water, right? Or food.
Is that why there's gravel in the pool?
Now
I don't know, but I saw those Doritos at the store today, and I was really tempted. No, I'm like, I gotta go back on my diet. I gotta had strawberry shortcake.
Sweet, spicy chili Doritos.
Oh, they were good. They were so good.
They're good.
And I'm just
They
like,
were not good. They were not good the next morning when I was burping.
Oh no.
Terrible. Never again. Never again. They were not nearly as good the second time.
I kept offering all the way home because I was getting really sleepy and trying to stay awake. And I was like, trying to find something to do. Chips. We got drink. Don't want to drink too much because I don't want to have to stop the whole time. And yeah. And I was like, you want a chip? She's like, nope. I do not.
Nope.
I do not.
Nay.
Not no, but heck no.
Oh, they were good though.
They were good.
I had that Russian roulette Doritos too, the ranch, where it's like regular ranch or spicy ranch. And I kept getting the spicy ranch for some reason. It's like, well,
these are spicy, but they're not like they won't kill your tongue.
No, they're like sweet spicy though. Yeah, they're delicious.
It's good. Yeah, they're good. They're bad.
They're bad.
Very bad.
Yes.
If you're out that way, the Oink and Moo was great too.
Yes.
Paranormal people, it's food. Food, right?
It's fancy. It's like the fanciest barbecue place I've ever seen.
What?
It was.
No.
Yes.
And
Most of the time, you see barbecue places, it's like an old hole in the wall.
Yep. That's the best barbecue.
The Sunrise Cafe. Yeah, that's where we ate at the last.
That was really good food.
Yes, it was.
Sunrise, yeah.
Yeah, that was really
with
good.
The,
really nice people.
With the judgy woman.
Oh, the judgy church lady in the corner.
I don't know. I don't
remember seeing
the judgy lady.
No,
she was behind
because
you.
her back was to her.
Oh,
boy,
her lightning,
was nasty.
Her ear was about that big, listening to everything all of us were saying, and she turned around.
Yeah, she was like she was the worst Karen.
Oh man, I wish I would have seen it. I would have introduced myself.
You were kind
of Karen. My name is.
Every time one of us spoke about anything, and of course it's all paranormal, because we were talking about being at the museum, and I was talking about Paracon stuff, and every time one of us spoke, she just leaned in a little bit closer, and then when she heard what we were talking about, she'd lean back and give you that like sour look.
Yeah.
See,
maybe she was just jelly.
If I would have noticed that, I would have just continued to talk. I'd address her.
I'd address her louder.
Talk louder.
I just talk louder. I was like, if she wants to hear it, then I'll let her hear it,
Wow.
She didn't have to lean in for me.
Right?
We could have spoke Latin.
I would sit at the table with her.
Should have just turned around and said, hey, we've got a podcast if you want to listen to us for real.
Right?
Hey, we're live right now.
I
wish talk about podcasting, but I don't know if we mentioned
that would have been great if we would have all just picked up our phone and went like this. We're live right now.
Yep. Oh man.
And tell us how you really feel, man.
Right.
I was kind of wishing. I'm going to tell a little quick story here. Pam and I and Mark have a friend named Dana, and we kind of went through that kind of spiel a few years ago. Me and Pam and her were having a meal together, and oddly enough, she was dressed like a fortune teller because we had just come from a kids festival where they had little booths set up. The festival got rained out, so the three of us decided to go and get something to eat and warm up because we gotten wet. And we were sitting there, and there was the same kind of older Karen-y woman, just like her, came in and gave Dana the dirtiest look and was like listening in on our conversation the whole time. And as we left, Dana stopped by her table and put a pretend curse on her.
Yeah.
It was like hilarious.
She spoke. She didn't say anything in English. She just made up some words, and then she made the spit sound 3 times at her. Like poop, 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 and then like walked out. And the look on that woman's face, you would have thought that somebody had just killed her dog.
Oh my god!
She did this whole thing.
Dressed in all of her beads, and her hair was up in a turban. It was great.
Fantastic.
But I was thinking that day, I wish Dana was here because she could have cursed her for us.
Oh, wow. She would have.
We need to learn German because everything that you say in German sounds like
it sounds like right. Well, hey, Ken can speak. Well, no, yeah, Ken, you can speak German. No, it's your friend Steve that speaks German. Isn't it?
Steve speaks fluent, but I'm okay.
But that's
great.
Abracadabra, alakazam. Yeah, there you go.
That would have been great. I would have loved to have done that. And you know what? To all the Karens out there, we're not purposely mean to you. You start it.
I just want to officially say I'm not mean.
I'm not mean until somebody's mean to me.
They're all mean.
My good
I'm not
friend.
mean until somebody's mean to me or one of my friends.
Exactly.
Okay, be careful. My good friend Karen is going to be on the show tomorrow night. Okay.
Hey, I have a friend Karen too.
But here's the thing: Karen is awesome. The same people that are going to be on tomorrow night. The two ladies and myself. We took Karen out to a restaurant for her birthday several months ago, and we went to a restaurant here in St. Louis. It was called Karen's Diner.
Oh Lord.
And it's well known around the world, and they purposely act like
Karens,
quote Karens that are just really obnoxious. I mean, they're throwing out the words, they're throwing out the attitude, the language. It was
nice.
it was an over 35 crowd. Just put it that way. 21 didn't even count, but no. Cursing people out with the F words, flipping them off.
That's like that one restaurant called.
It was hilarious. We had ask Karen tomorrow night about that one. She might get a little upset, but she threatened me about mannequins, so I figured
I've got some pictures of these mannequins now.
Oh yeah, I sent those pictures to Mark.
Let's see what we got here.
Thank you. There's a different mannequins that there's a whole story about that. You have to watch the show tomorrow night.
I thought we were doing all that on.
I'm sure it'll come up.
Oh.
See, it's the hallway of my nightmares.
Wow.
Just leering mannequins.
And that's where you can.
And mannequins in every room off to the side of that hallway too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You're like,
That is as far as I could go. I could not cross that line. Whatever was there would not let me cross that line.
Well, here we go.
It was
There's
good judgment.
Butt.
Oh, there's a picture of Ken.
I know some of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, it could be a self-portrait of myself.
It was a selfie. What are you guys looking at?
Was there a pooper scooper back there anywhere?
I don't know, but I never got to the other side to see the head. So
I did.
Oh, this was a cool room.
That's pretty cool there.
That's pretty cool right there.
That's the World War II room.
Yeah.
When we first walked in, I passed that room first. And as soon as I got there, I immediately stopped. And I was being called. So I looked to my left, and there's this room. I didn't even know which war. And I'm like, I'm being called into this room. And then, I don't know, Pam or somebody said, that's the World War II room. I'm like, oh my God. So, yeah.
Is it just me, or did the uniforms used to be a lot snappier looking than they are now?
Yeah.
They were pretty snazz.
Yeah.
We did a Estes method session in there too.
Oh, that's cool.
Jess and I did, and got some interesting stuff.
That's a whole lot of horse. Yeah. No, I went to the Civil War room, but I had went down there when Ken was doing the spirit box session, and I was like, well, they had stopped talking to him, and I'm like, well, I want to talk to you. And I started talking about my family being from Germany, and it said one word. Well, it said a couple of words, but I don't remember what it said. But it just said one thing, and then they were done. They were like, "I'm done."
Yeah, and they were really chatting for a long time until I said something about Normandy. As soon as I said that word, they did not speak to me again. They never did speak to me again. And
I started talking about Germany. Silence. They said something to me, and then he tried to talk back to them, and they were like, "Nope." So, Ken, you ruined it.
I did.
I'm just kidding.
I did.
No. That's all right, Ken. I've done that too.
We didn't tell you guys this, but at the time when we did the Estes method thing, I had come up with the name of Ike Johnson. And we went back and asked the ladies that were there with the museum if they had a record of anybody named Ike Johnson or anything like that. Well, we found out that one of the trunks in that room actually has the name Johnson on it. But also when we were leaving town, we went kind of the scenic route out of town. And I can't remember, what was the last name on that? Do you remember? But the first name was Ike, and it was a memorial along the highway. can't remember.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Eisenhower.
No, wasn't Eisenhower.
Okay.
This was like a local citizen.
Oh.
And I was like, well, that's pretty interesting. Because Ike's not that common of a name.
No.
I sent you a pic. I sent you a pic, Mark.
A pick mark.
A pick mark.
Yeah, let us look.
Pick mark.
Pick
Yes.
mark. Pick mark.
Well, Jess, you actually
Ike
found the one
Skelton.
name. Oh, Ike Skelton. Yeah, he was. He was
Harold.
Politician.
Yeah, and it was on the Missouri River Bridge.
Okay.
Or I
Yeah.
guess it was the Ike Skelton Missouri River Bridge, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. He was.
Interesting.
That does ring a bell.
Yeah, he was a politician in Missouri.
Cool. I
For a
didn't know
long-
who it
Oh,
was.
my.
But I was like, oh my gosh, look, there's an Ike. Does it
But,
have anything to do with that? I have no idea, but I just thought it was cool. We ran into an Ike.
That is cool.
Jess, you actually came up with the name, and then you and I found the name upstairs on a photo.
Uh-huh.
What was it? Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Oh, there's the
There you
photo.
go.
There's
There
Marcelina.
Yes.
It
Ed.
looks like a very happy horse.
He looks creepier in person.
Now,
Yeah.
the funny thing is, if you guys look really close, so that dark thing just under its nose is its lower mouth. It was on a hinge, and it was just laying there all floppy.
Yeah.
So it was
So
like,
it's all slack jawed.
So
yeah.
that's actually a good picture where it doesn't look floppy. It just looks like hi.
I know
Um,
he looks really happy, doesn't he?
It
Yeah,
looks like
he
a
does.
smile.
But
Yeah.
when you're
Scared the-
in there, it was like,
It
My
scared the
Ginger
bejesus
has a
out of me.
horse that's a
Oh,
little
no.
goofy. My friend Ginger
I
has a
did.
horse that's a little goofy.
So-
And they call it Special Edna.
oh, cool.
I'm like, that's perfect for that one.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. Saddle didn't fit. Oh man.
Sorry, Jess,
all
I cut
right.
through you. Were you going to say something?
No, I was
Uh,
just saying it scared the bejesus out of me. The room was a little dark, and when you walk in, it's just to your right, and it's really tall, like it's up near the ceiling almost.
Yeah,
it's
it's real
almost it's
tall.
like the
Wow,
size of
yeah.
a real horse, and the light doesn't really shine on it real well. So I was like a good 3 steps in, and I was using my phone with the light from my phone on it and was kind of shining it around, and I shined it over here, and like here was this horse like leering over me. And I jumped. I was like, and the lady who was showing me around just cackled her butt off. I was like,
Oh my gosh.
thanks for the heads up.
Well, it's kinda like
gets
the-
that a lot.
That's
It's kind of like the basement scene. I didn't know there was a basement. I didn't know where to go. There was like 3 stairs, and I only went up 2 of them. And the ones that they were talking about, I hadn't even gone that way. They're like the basement is right
Where's
below
the
us. I'm like,
basement? We said
huh.
downstairs. She said, I am downstairs. They're like, no, you're not. You're on this floor. You're down the stairs.
So yeah, talk to somebody that hasn't even been to the stairs. It has the other stairs that go down.
There was a lot of stairs.
You follow the sign. It said basement. There's an arrow pointed that way. So-
I had not even gone to those stairs, Adrian. I didn't see the basement sign.
Shaw,
Mark, I,
had
just sent you another picture. It was one of Ken's. I'm not sure I sent it to you earlier.
Shaw,
See.
I had to ask where the basement was too.
Thank you.
She said, "Go out." She said, "You see those stairs right there outside our doorway?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Go around the corner. It's on the other
Yeah.
side."
They're underneath the stairs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're under the
Underneath the stairs. The stairs
all-
that are near the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and by the
Rich
way,
sweat.
Ike Skelton, he was actually U.S. representative for Missouri,
Oh.
Okay.
so that's who he was.
Interesting.
I knew it was from
That's the
Jeff
room.
City.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
that
there-
looks a little bit terrifying.
Oh yeah, the tools
Yeah.
of mass destruction. I sat on the other side of that fan. I was like, please don't throw anything at me.
And
Please don't throw anything at me.
at midpoint of that room is where we experienced that weight feeling. And like I say, Tina and I, we are not woo-woo at all. So when we feel something, we stop and take notice of that because there must be some kind of energy that's able to make itself known to unfeeling people like us. That sounds terrible.
Well, I'm hoping I'm hoping I got the sound of the stairs creaking or the woods creaking, because at that time there was nobody, and you guys had already been up the stairs for a while before.
And just right, the twister room. That's exactly what we said.
Yes,
Yeah.
intro for sure. Mark, I sent you one more, I think.
Yeah.
I keep dribbling pictures into you. Sorry.
The bathroom door had the near perfect haunted house sound to it.
Oh yeah.
Right?
You would open it, go.
Sound like my front door. I fixed mine though. It doesn't do that anymore.
My mini fridge does that.
Couple times in the night there was a terrible growl too. So we won't.
Really? That was our Tomink.
That
Did
sounds like my
anyone
bathroom.
else? I was talking to Jess about this. Did anyone else find this creepy? When you come up the stairs to the second floor, that was.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the door.
They
that
lock
led to
it.
the staircase. Yeah, it's like a locking. It had a padlock on it. That is terrifying.
Why
Well,
do they lock it?
On
Pull it back up, Mark.
on the inside.
Yeah.
It was the padlock was on the inside, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was almost like people would go up there and lock themselves in so that others couldn't get to them.
They're like,
Yeah, but they would be able to get to them because there's two other stairs.
It's,
I don't know. I mean,
it's like, I have to go over there to go down the stairs.
well, that's too much work.
Maybe they're up to no good.
I don't know why they would have a door like that there, though. That
They
is kind of
talked
weird.
about the fact that was a nursing home and they had to care for people on that second floor. You know how
that's
hard that would
true.
be, because those stairs, they're older stairs. They were built in 1906, or
Yeah.
1909. Those
They're
are not
steep and narrow.
They had the chairlift.
Yep.
They had the chairlift that you refused to use.
In
Ah.
It was. They had
If you
an old.
notice- If you
Okay,
notice on
wait
that,
a minute. Wait. You're
If-
telling me you think this was that old and y'all were trying to get me to go on it?
No. Listen.
There was
In my
a date on
defense,
it.
I had no idea there was a chairlift.
okay.
Hey,
If you notice that door, it was a sliding door that had a can, right?
All right.
So-
Okay. Are you going to listen to me before
Oh.
y'all go crazy
Yeah.
again?
Sure.
Okay. The chairlift that is there now is not the original, but if you go and you
Okay.
look at the staircase, it has a ramp for the original one that was there, and it was replaced. It looks like sometime in the 60s or the 70s.
Okay.
It was
That's
built
better.
into the staircase to have that ramp there.
I
They probably had
actually-
one of the original pulley ones back in the
Oh,
earlier times.
Good. Oh my gosh, could you imagine? Yes, exactly, Ken.
And the rope breaks.
Flying out that front window.
Going right down the
yard.
thing.
That was the circus fun, Mark.
We got
From
some
like-
distance on that one.
I'm like, what
Well,
was
you
it?
know,
Was it
there is a-
Beetlejuice? Not Beetlejuice.
I think there was a door to the left of it, so they might have bounced off the wall and out the door.
I
There you
guess.
go.
I've been fine.
Possible.
That's
Possible.
funny.
You get that ding, ding.
Okay, I feel better about it now.
I still
think,
wouldn't do
think
it.
there was a date on it, wasn't there?
I
You know,
don't
after we
Yeah.
uncovered it, it was like 1960s or 70s or something like that.
Yeah. It's been replaced a couple times, I'm sure.
And there
But
was
it-
real
that-
electricity because it did work because we poked the buttons.
Yeah,
Wow.
it worked. We made sure it was going to function. We weren't going to put you on like a death trap or something like that. It worked.
And we would have stayed at the bottom and waited to catch it.
That's right.
in case you
With the
wanted-
camera ready.
Well, one of us would,
The
yeah.
video.
We were going to videotape
Might
you
have
going
made
up
some
it.
money on it.
We were going to videotape you, yeah.
Nice.
But then I forgot about it. I think I was in the basement when you guys were playing with that one.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. It was a good time though. I am
Next
looking
time.
forward to I am. I'm looking forward to when we can all get together and do another one.
Yeah, I
Too
am
much fun.
too.
Hopefully I'll get
excited.
to go with you guys sometime. That would
Yes.
That would
Yes,
be
it
great.
would.
Well,
We should invite
I'm-
Phil and he can watch our idiocy.
be fun. I think he enjoys it. I mean,
Oh yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Shameless
That's
plug here,
exciting.
too. We're all going to be at the Paracon September 30th in Caney.
Yep.
So
Yes.
if you guys are enjoying the conversation, come see us.
Yes.
Enzo, not you too.
Good one. If we can get Adrian and Tina to join us, I'll be out your way next weekend. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah, but
So-
Adrian and Tina are too good for us.
Yes.
And I will should for sure be off on Sunday, so
Great.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to meet everybody.
And
All right.
Enzo's going to join us too, it looks like.
Nice. Like I said, I'll try to make it
So-
over. We've got a commitment at
Sweet.
4, but I can probably come over for a little bit.
That would be
Okay,
cool.
I
Awesome.
should be in town Saturday morning until Monday morning.
Cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
Oh, wait. Sunday.
Wait.
Crap. I have
crap.
I have
We
an
talked about
interview
that
at
the other day.
3.
An interview
what?
at 3.
Yeah, an interview
But not
at 3
until
for my
3.
podcast. Yeah, not until
You
3,
could-
so I can do it before 3.
Yay.
So, but yeah, I
think
have an
Jess has
interview with
something to
Sin
do.
Schrader.
What time? You have commitments that night too.
Yeah. Yep. So
All
we
right,
can meet up
guys.
early that day, and I mean Saturday
Yeah.
I'm free.
Definitely.
I think we need to let Phil end the show because he's running out of steam.
Oh, Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
No,
It
you're
was a
good.
long
You're
day
good.
today in the heat.
It was. No, guys, I mean, I appreciate you guys coming on. Where can everybody find you guys?
Well, Facebook.
Everywhere.
Facebook is the best thing. I mean, you look for AMOK Paranormal, you can find us at AMOK. And if you wanted to maybe get in touch with us for a show, either message us there or send us an email at amokparanormal@gmail.com. So I started to spell Gmail. Just in case you don't know how to spell that.
Yep.
Uh,
And
Well,
if you
I
want to
mean,
catch
with
some of the
today's
past
education
podcasts, go to
systems, I don't
YouTube.
know.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of our past
You guys-
podcasts are on YouTube. Just look for AMOK Paranormal on YouTube.
I don't know if Adrian's put us on Spotify yet.
oh my God, I started to do that and everything went wonky. I had flat out wonky.
I can't put any more shows on this website until
I need to make it. I need to make it a New Year's resolution for 2023.
yes.
For
New Year's
23,
resolution
current year.
6 months later.
You can probably find each of us individually on Facebook also.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
also
Sure.
St. Louis, I have Monster Paranormal. So
Nice.
I have Exploring the Paranormal Perspective podcast and Geeks Paranormal.
Yeah. And I'm on Bordertown Paranormal.
And our
Actually,
River
it's
Valley,
FK Bordertown Paranormal.
and we're River Valley Paranormal.
Nice.
Yes.
Everybody look them up. These guys are a lot of fun to hang out with and chat with.
We're
Again,
kind
we do
of slow
appreciate
steam.
you
We're
guys.
still recovering.
We're old.
God.
guys, thanks for bringing us on here tonight. That was a lot of
Oh,
fun.
absolutely.
Yes,
And I-
you
and I
guys are
know-
awesome.
Good time.
Thank you.
And I see that we've only gone a few minutes over time, it looks like.
No big deal. No big deal.
Just a couple.
No, we do
We're shutting
appreciate
up
you guys coming on. You guys are more welcome anytime. Something new comes up, man. Reach out to us. We'll have you on or
Awesome.
whatever.
Definitely.
Let's see. I don't really have anything else. Do you, Mark?
I really don't. It's been a good evening. I've enjoyed having everybody on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Been a
We
good
don't do a
time.
lot of guests. Usually, it's just us four hanging out, talking about.
Do you
random
need
things.
to? Do you need to run your sponsors when we go out?
Yeah, I'll run them real quick. By the
Yeah,
way,
you
check these guys. Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, we'll play this real quick.
Hey, this is Mark with What If Tomorrow and What If Tomorrow on the Fringe. Be sure to check out our website, whatiftomorrowmedia.com, and look at our cool merch. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, posters, and more. Our affiliates are Duke Cannon, EMP Shield, My Patriot Supply, and Conflicted the Game. Or check out buymeacoffee.com/whatiftomorrow and buy us a coffee. And as always, be sure to like, comment, and share on both Facebook and YouTube. It helps get our content out to others and help our channel grow. Now on with the show.
We usually play it at the beginning. Hey, I just had an idea, Mark. We need to have these guys on to play Conflicted.
That
Yes.
awesome.
That would be
Yes,
Yeah.
that would be awesome.
a
Yeah.
fun
Yeah.
game.
Do
I'm
we have
in.
to dress
Fun
up?
game.
Thought-provoking game.
No. It's a card game. We played it
Oh.
a few times on the show. It's more about prepared.
It's more of a psychological game.
Yeah, it's a psychological game. It's kind of what would you do? It's kind of a would you rather with more or harsher ramifications, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It really puts things in perspective.
Yeah, you're talking about, you said card game. I was thinking, poker or something like that. We actually played our own version of 21 with some spirits several months ago. And
cool.
we had my backpack with the spirit box going. That was our guest. And we all played cards. And the dude was telling us to hit, pass, stop, and various things. So we kept giving him cards as long as he kept saying. We played cards. We about 15 hands or so. Of course, we won 14 of them. He won the last one. And we're like, okay, game's over. Game's done. Yeah.
Yep. Show in. It's in show.
But it was amazing, that this guy was telling us how many cards
we can tell them later.
You know what?
We're trying to end the show.
Bye.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All good.
Next time,
guys,
play
thanks.
cards.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, definitely. Just let us know when.
Yeah, we'll do. With that being said, folks, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Appreciate you hanging out in the chat, and we will catch you next episode.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.